Well, I recorded another video. I spent 30 minutes jabbering away, and guess what? It didn't upload. Clyde wants to say hi. My baby. But my goal, or my main objective, or whatever you want to say for right now, if I can save one person, and get them out of a bad relationship, if I could get one person to see their value and not settle for some loser, not take abuse, not mental, not physical. You know, physical abuse will heal. You might not forget it. Psychological or mental abuse, it stays with you forever. And it's not fair, it's not right for anybody to beat anyone down. Find your value and know it. Know you're beautiful no matter what. It's crazy. I mean, I grew up in a non-loving home. We never said I love you. There were no hugs and kisses, no compliments. I make a point to compliment people. I make a point to build their ego, boost their confidence, because it was never done for me. So I want to help people, and those who possibly are in a loveless relationship like I was with the creepy old guy. You know, I was never in love with the guy. He just took over my mind, and because I was raised with no value, no worth, he was able to control and manipulate me, which is sad. It wasn't until I started realizing that I was miserable, I didn't like being with him, but I mean, I had lost my whole youth. I lost the sneezing over my kitties. I lost my whole youth, and 27 years of my life. I'm going to say I lost 31 years of my life now, because out of 56, because 4 years ago James died, and I haven't done anything. I haven't lived. And you know, the old me would have taken abuse. The old me would have let these creeps on these dating sites drag me down. I would have given in and done what they want to, or tell them, you know, things they want to hear. Not anymore. I'm better than that, and I deserve better than that. If you can't measure up to my standards, if you can't see my value, I'm going to keep it, and I'm going to let it gain interest. My value is important to me. And if you can't pay the price for it, if you can't give me compliments, if you can't meet me equally, if you can't see that I'm a good person with a good heart, I don't need you. I don't want you. Because you don't deserve me. I deserve as much as I give. And I don't like when people lie. I don't like when people steal. I don't like cheaters. I don't like players. I don't like manipulators. And so basically I keep to myself with my cats. Because everybody I meet, I can read them, I can feel them, I catch a vibe, I catch their energy. I just stay away from them. Someday, hopefully, I'll meet somebody again. But until then, like I said, my whole thing was, originally I was going to do tarot and mediumship. I was going to do oracle cards on here because it's my passion. I didn't have anybody to help me when I was young. Nobody explained to me why I knew things. When I knew my mom was going to die, when I knew I was going to get in an accident, how I saved a friend of mine and her daughter from getting killed, how I saved somebody I call my sister today. She's a soul sister. I knew she was dying. I called her boyfriend and told him, call 911. I was in Georgia, she was in Florida, and he was like, she's sleeping. I said, no, she's not. And I don't know, I love who I am, and I love my abilities, and I'm not going to get downed for them anymore. I'm not going to hide them anymore either. And I'm not going to get used for them. Oh man, I got used for them bad. You know, I used to sit at the flea market in Georgia at Lake Park, and I would do free tarot and oracle readings. But the thing is, I'm an intuitive reader, and I never knew cards before, and people were like, how do you know this stuff? So I ended up having to buy cards, and I would shuffle the cards and flip them. I didn't even pay attention to the cards because I went by what was inside of me. And I helped a lot of people. But right now, I have this, and I can't take a chance with the energy. And you can see I've been doing a lot of crying. You never fully heal. When you lose the one person who gave your life meaning, and he was your world, your everything. We didn't have a perfect relationship. I mean, he had brain injuries. He was hit by a car, and every now and again his family would piss him off and he would snap. He would take it out on me, and then he'd question me when he, would come back around. And after he died and I met his sister, and the other ones would continuously text me asking me, where's his money? And what money? I knew why none of them were invited to our wedding ceremony. I didn't take long to figure it out after his sister came. I mean, everybody here that she came in contact with, nobody liked her. Like, I would call about, she was having somebody come here and do something, and I'd call them and they're like, oh, where's the bossy lady? I mean, boss lady. I said, don't worry, she's bossy, she's evil. I mean, you can tell she grew up on a farm because she ate like a freaking cow. But, I mean, she was just such a, not a nice person. And very controlling. And, James wanted his dad to come visit. And I asked his dad, I said, will you come and stay with us for a little while? And he goes, wow. He goes, Jimmy boy never invited me before. And I said, well, he had a very sick wife, his first wife, and he only lived in a one-bedroom place, so where was he going to put you, And he was excited. James was excited. His dad was going to come. And his sister said, well, Dad can't travel alone. I'm coming with him. James said, forget it. I don't want him here then. And I said, what? He goes, just cancel. Just tell them, forget it. Never understood why. And then one day he said to me, Barb is mother hen. And she said, he said, she's a control freak. And all her little brown nosers, because James was one of 14 kids, 7 boys, 7 girls. And only one of his sisters wasn't a brown noser, and that's the only sister he had communication with. And he asked me if I would go to Washington to visit with him. James couldn't drive because of seizures after his brain injury. And I said, I'll drive you there. I'll stay at a motel. You can go stay with your sister. You can meet her kids and all that, but I don't want to be in the middle of any of it. And he said, why? And I said, I just don't. I don't feel right. I don't want to be, put down or have any problems or issues. He said, no. He goes, this sister won't do that. She's not evil, Barb. And, but we never did it. We never got to go because, of course, he died. So, but he would tell me I was beautiful. He would tell me all the times I was sick and in the hospital, and pneumonia and 11% lung function and sepsis, oh my God, 58 times, and cellulitis and paniculitis and all these things. And they would tell him I wasn't going home, and they'd have me in that room where you stay overnight with the couch with your family because you're going to die. And they put me in that room, and then 2 days later I was being discharged, and they were always like, that's the room we put people in to say goodbye to their loved ones. And the lady's like, I don't know why we put you in there. You always go home. Well, sadly, James is the one that died. So, I don't know. It just, life is cruel. But I don't want anybody to lose their value. I want people to know, especially big women who are mistreated by these creeps. You don't have to do anything you don't want to. You don't need to degrade yourself just for attention. You don't need to become some sexual pervert or tell them things to keep their attention because they say big girls are easy. This big girl's not. And you ain't putting that thing anywhere near me if I don't want it, and I don't want it. I just don't. I haven't met any. I've met quite a few guys on these dating sites, and I've met a couple in person, hung out with them, but nothing major for me. It just empty. I was always empty inside. And I'm not going to settle, and I'm not going to sacrifice. I'm not going to waste time if it's nothing there. Maybe someday, but for the meantime, I found my value. I found my worth. And if you need to find your value, and you need to, don't give yourself to anybody. Save it. Save your value and collect interest. And the higher it goes, the more you have, more of yourself. Don't settle. Don't sacrifice. You're beautiful. Every day, wake up and thank somebody, angels or whoever. Look in the mirror and say, today is the day that I'm going to do this. Today is the day that I'm going to see my worth, or I'm going to know my value. If today's the day you're going to dye your hair, or today's the day you're going to try a new coffee, you're worth it. Always you're worth it. Don't let anybody tell you you're not. Don't do things to make other people happy. Do things to make you happy. Fall in love with yourself, and then others will follow. Don't settle. Don't put yourself down. Do not do things that you wouldn't normally do, or that you don't want to do for anyone. Be strong. Be who you are. Love you first. Go to a shelter. Adopt old senior pets that nobody wants. Let them live their final days or months or years with love. Give them love. Help them find value. Don't put yourself down for anybody. Nobody's worth it. Shine bright. I always say Dennis cracked me because he broke me for so many years, but now my inner light shines through. And James used to say he polished me. James would say, I'm polishing you because your cracks are beautiful and your beauty is shining through. He'd always tell me, other people. He really didn't say it a lot to me. He didn't know how. He would always say, she's so sweet. She's got a big heart. She's so nice. And he always, he gave me, every day he'd kiss me and he'd call me his sexy lady. Every day, when we were out in public, he'd let people know that I was his and he was mine. I miss that. I do. And I'm not going to settle. I'm not going to put up with people's abuse. I'm not going to let people look at my flaws when they got 1,000 of their own. Nobody's perfect. We weren't meant to be. We were put on this planet in the third dimension. We were put here to learn to love, to give love, to learn lessons. When we go back in the spirit world, in the fifth dimension, different story. Okay? It's pure love there, I know. I don't remember a whole lot about it. I just know I have gifts and abilities. I know that I use them for the good. I dabbled in the bad at times too, but I regret that. Like I said, karma's a boomerang. What you put out comes back, and it comes back multiplied. So don't put people down. Don't hurt people. Don't look at somebody else's flaws. Correct your own. And don't let anybody look at you and say you're not good enough, because you are. You may not be for them. You may not be their type. They may not be yours. That doesn't mean you're not good enough. It means you're not compatible with them. Don't try to adjust yourself for somebody else. You're not a TV antenna. You're not a radio antenna. Don't make your signal change for someone else. Love yourself first, and the rest will come later. If I can help one person get out of an abusive relationship, one person see their value and not settle, one person not degrade themselves and become some freak because that's what they believe they have to be, that's what I'm going to keep working on. And when I feel comfortable and confident with that, that's when I'll go into my tarot and oracle readings. That's when I'll do mediumships on here. I might throw in a recording every now and again, of a card reading, but I'll see how it goes. For right now, my main goal is to help people, help women, especially big women, realize they have value, worth, and they shouldn't be put down by anyone for any reason. So stay strong and know you're loved. Okay? Good night.